my name is Brooke, and welcome to MFA Playdates. Today is going to be all about line. We're going to read a book together, and then we're going to look at some artwork from the Museum of Fine Arts, Boston, and then we're going to go to my friend Marcella's house, and you're going to create some art of your own using materials that you can find in your own home. Create your own work of art that's all about line. So let's start with our book. Our book today is called Lines That Wiggle. It's written by Candace Whitman, and it's illustrated, or the artwork is done by Steve Wilson. It's published by Blue Apple Books, and we received permission to read it from Blue Apple Books. So let's get started. Opening up our book, the two inside pages, we already see a lot of lines. There's some lines that make a mountain, and there's some lines that make a portrait and a frame. Lines that wiggle. Are you ready? Okay. Lines that wiggle, like a snake. Lines that bend, like this elephant on a wire. Wavy lines from end to end. You see the octopus at the bottom? Lines that tickle, like a cat's whiskers, and lines that sprout. Bugs have lines that stick right out. Lines to trap, like in a spider web. Lines to hide. Two lines running side by side. Can you see two people biking here, side by side? Lines that curve and lines that curl. Underwater, lines that swirl. Lines that crisscross. You see the net, and lines that mend. There's a little bumblebee mending a flower. Lines with doggies at the end. Lines that scurry, like these ants. And lines in threes. Lines in leaves that grow on trees. Lines that twist and lines that sway. Lines that swish the flies away. Zigzag lines light up the sky like this lightning. Rainbow lines are way up high. Lines are everywhere you look. Find some lines not in this book. Now it's your turn to go outside and to see how many lines you can find. Next, we're going to look at a work of art from the Museum of Fine Arts, Boston that has all sorts of great lines in it. This is a painting by Walter Augustus Simon called 1715 Washington Street, Greenwich Village, which is in New York. Walter Augustus Simon started selling his paintings when he was 11 years old. And he lived in this building on the 5th floor with his wife and his 2 kids. If you look really closely, can you see a checkered floor? Or maybe even some doors and some windows? Now I want you to look closely and see how many different kinds of lines you can find in this painting. Can you find a vertical line that goes from top to bottom? Can you find horizontal lines that go from left to right? Or maybe even some diagonal lines that are at an angle from the top to the bottom. Now we're going to head to my friend Marcella's house, and you're going to get to make a work of art of your very own, which is all about line, using materials that you can find in your own house. Have a good time!
Hello, hello! So good to be with you again. Welcome to the Museum of Fine Arts Online. My name is Marcella, and today I hope that you'll join me in a super cool activity inspired in one of the pieces that live in the Museum of Fine Arts. It is a painting made only by lines, just lines. Some lines that make little squares and some lines that make little fences. And then he colored in between the lines. And what he was painting was a neighborhood, his own neighborhood, that he loved a lot. A beautiful neighborhood where he grew with friends and family that he cared for, and where he was very, very happy and experienced strong sense of community and love and security and safety, a place that made him feel safe and protected. So this is my inspiration piece, and for our activity we only need an old notebook. So look around your home and find an old notebook that you have used some pages already, you know. This is my old shopping list that I took to the supermarket. And this is another notebook where I started writing, it was my to-do list. Things that, and some phone numbers, and things that I was supposed to do a long time ago in 2015. So these are my old notebooks. I have a comfortable place to sit with, lamps on my sides. Then I have all kinds of writing and coloring materials. I have a pencil, I have some pens, I have some highlighters, I have some markers. I have an old piece of makeup that I never used because I don't like the color, but it works very well on paper. And this is what we're going to do. So the first thing that we're going to do is make some lines. I am going to choose a marker to begin with. And I'm just going to make lines, all kinds of lines. The lines that come to my mind when I think of my neighborhood. I live in a beautiful neighborhood in Boston that I love a lot. And when I go out in my neighborhood, I see wiggly lines like these that come from the trees. I also see circles because some people leave their bicycles outside, and there are also cars parked outside, so I see the tires that are circular. I also see lines that go up and down like this because there are many buildings. I also see the sidewalk that goes like this. I'll also make little circles for the leaves on the trees. There you go. I have my lines now, many lines. What I'm going to do now is color with different colors inside of those lines. So maybe I'm going to do a little blue on the circle for the sky, right? Maybe a little more blue for a car, a blue car that is parked on the side. Oh, there's a roof of my neighbor. It is very pale blue. There you go. I'll keep coloring all my lines, and what I'm going to do is that I'm not going to leave any space without color, because when I go outside, that's what I see. Color and lines that bring a lot of shapes, interesting shapes, and that's how my neighborhood looks like. See you soon when I'm done. So now I am going to have more fun making some lines in a different page of my very special journal. Thank you everybody for journaling with me. I work on my journal every day. This is what I did on Monday, and this is Tuesday, and this is Wednesday, and this is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I get to do Monday again. I hope that you had a lot of fun making lines and color them in, and working on a very special journal. See you soon.